Y'all come on in, sit down, and let Grandma tell you something about America and its strange ways. See, folks always act shocked when history finally tells the truth. But black folks down south? We learned a long time ago that sometimes the loudest people preaching separation were doing plenty of mingling behind closed doors. Now let me tell you about Strom Thurmond, one of the biggest segregationists America ever produced. Oh yes, that man could give a speech about keeping black and white people apart so long your cornbread would go stale waiting on him to finish. But wouldn't you know it? The same man had a black daughter. Ain't that something? Her name was Essie Mae Washington Williams. She was born in 1925 to a young black girl named Carrie Butler, who worked for Thurmond's family in South Carolina. Carrie was only about 15 or 16 years old, and Strom was around 22. Back then, black girls working in white households had very little power to say much of anything. Now publicly, oh, Strom Thurmond wanted America to think he was the grand protector of segregation. In 1948, he ran for president screaming about keeping races separate, said white schools, white neighborhoods, white everything needed protecting. Lord, he talked about integration like somebody was trying to release alligators into the church fellowship hall. But apparently segregation had visiting hours after dark. See, that's the hypocrisy nobody likes talking about. Because while he was out making speeches about racial purity, his own bloodline told a different story. Essie Mae grew up not fully knowing who her father was. Later, her mother finally told her the truth and took her to meet Strom Thurmond in his office. Can you imagine that child walking in there, looking at one of the most powerful white men in the South and realizing this man fighting against black people on television is my daddy? Now, to his credit, and yes, Grandma believes in telling the whole truth, he did quietly help support her financially, paid for some schooling, stayed in contact, and acknowledged her privately. Privately. See, that word doing a lot of heavy lifting here, because publicly, oh no, couldn't mess up that political image now, and it gets even thicker. In 1957, Thurmond stood in the United States Senate and filibustered the Civil Rights Act for over 24 hours, trying to block protections for black Americans. 24 hours. Baby, my knees hurt standing at the stove making greens for 1 hour. This man talked for an entire day fighting against rights for people who looked exactly like his own daughter. Now, if that ain't America wrapped up in one story, I don't know what is. A man could love his black child in secret but oppose black freedom in public. Could shake black hands backstage and then walk out front talking about separate but equal. Could know black humanity personally while denying it politically. And poor Essie Mae carried that secret for decades. Became a teacher, raised her family, lived her life quietly, while the whole country praised her father as some Southern political giant. She didn't reveal the truth publicly until after Strom Thurmond died in 2003. She was almost 78 years old. Imagine carrying a secret that heavy nearly your whole life. And when she finally spoke out, she said, "At last, I am completely free." Now that right there breaks your heart a little, because that statement tells you she spent years protecting a man who never fully protected her out loud. See, baby, Grandma tells this story because history ain't just dates and speeches, it's contradictions, it's hypocrisy. It's America saying one thing in public and doing another thing in private. And Strom Thurmond's story reminds us that sometimes the people screaming the loudest about keeping races apart were sleeping mighty close to black folks all along.